it's a great feeling. Suffered my first loss, but this type of support, it doesn't feel like it. Everything has been positive, since the fight, and there's something I'm very thankful for. I've always been thankful, my supporters here in my hometown. But it's for reasons like this. They support you, unconditionally, win, lose, or draw.
Have you got any kind of feedback from the rest of the champions? Obviously, you had a great fight against Javante Davis. Have you reached out, Joshua Frank, the rest of the guys who actually have been champions before, just like you?
No, all the dudes, like I said, we all grew up together, me, Hector, Bam, Josh, and, when I lost, I had a message, from each and every one of them, I said, our boy Hector, had just suffered, his first defeat as well, but we all reached out to him also, and, we got Josh, who's getting ready for, his second trilogy, with Maloney, he's out there in camp right now, there's no doubt in my mind, he's going to go and defend that title again, and capture, another victory against Maloney. But man, us here in San Antonio, we have stayed, a tight-knit group, and I'm thankful for that.
Obviously, you're healing pretty quickly, pretty fast. I know you mentioned earlier you want to move up to 147. Is that the plan? Have you talked to Virgil Hunter? Everyone's on the table agreeing to that, to moving up to welterweight?
That's what we have been talking about. This last fight, we started to see, making 140. It's not as easy as it used to be. So we're gonna test out 147. Which is much more natural for me. And but I'm gonna sit down with my coach. We're gonna go over everything. He's here in San Antonio right now. We got our my stablemate Bakram, who's fighting on the undercard of the Charlo Castaño, and so I'll be with them tomorrow.
Last cap, because you had a great fight. It was competitive, being in the ATL. Literally, the odds stacked against you. Do you feel that maybe 140 was just too much for you to make it against the tag fight?
Again, I'm not making any excuses. I had a great camp. My last fight, we made weight, the proper way. But it's just something, that we started to see. My body, was holding on to more muscle, and the weight, wasn't coming off, as easy as it once was. But again, that wasn't it's not an excuse whatsoever. Javante just happened to be, the better man that night. Me and my coaches were still, we are very proud of the performance that I had in that fight.
Have you had a chance to go back and watch the fight? And if so, what are some things that you noticed that you wish you could just change, moving forward in your career?
I've gone back. I've watched the fight. There's not any changes I'll make. Moving forward, but there was changes. I would have made, of course. In the fight. Looking back, but that's boxing though.
Now having shared the ring with Tank, where would you rank him if he goes back down to lightweight, which it seems like he's going to do? Where would you rank him in that division with those guys?
I definitely rank him up there. He has the explosiveness, with him, the power. He got the speed, and like I said, I had said it before. He has the boxing IQ.
With you moving up to 147. Do you feel like maybe your power, just conditioning, everything would just kind of get better, just being that you kind of feel in? You're a big guy. I feel like you've kind of probably been on that road for a while now.
It's the same thing as when I moved up to 140. We're gonna do it, gradually. We know it's gonna take a process, and but I have a great team behind me. With Virgil Hunter, my strength and conditioning coach, Tony Brady, my strength and conditioning coach here in San Antonio, Carlos Rodriguez, and as long as we're all on the same page, with what we're doing next, I have no doubt, I'll be successful.
Jamel Charlo versus Castaño tomorrow. It's a great fight, undisputed. Break down the fight for me.
Man, I see that it's like I said, it's hard to see this fight going 12 rounds because of that ferociousness that Jamel and Jamal bring every time they step in there, and Castaño as well. He has that come forward style. He's gonna stay busy. He's gonna stay throwing. So I see it being a very action-packed fight.
in the fight, Steve Farhat had you even, I believe, going into the 11th round. Being that judges had it like that, similar, close like that, does that give you confidence, kind of, that you were like in the fight, kind of watching it again? Do you feel like, man, I was right there, maybe 2 more rounds, and I could have edged out the decision?
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind, that I was definitely in that fight, which is why I had that motivation, to continue on getting up and continue on fighting, even though I was getting hurt. I mean, it's part of the sport, I know if the ref didn't stop it, when he did, which I still don't see why, but I feel, if the fight would have continued, then who knows what would have happened. But I know for a fact, I had Gervonta in them, that they were stressing in the corner.
We're speaking about the stoppage. The referee kind of stepped a little bit at first. Were you kind of surprised when it happened, or what did you think about the stoppage?
No, yeah, that's I don't know what he was doing, because he did the stutter step and then he said stop. So like I look at him and then that's when he waved his hands, and I didn't understand the call, but at that point it's not like the call could have been reversed. There was nothing I could have done, and but yeah, no, still speaking on that, I still don't see why it was stopped when it was. I definitely could have continued, which is why I got up, from that body shot. Yeah.
Now, Mario, during those last few rounds, man, you wouldn't clinch. I was even, being in the arena, I was like, man, Mario's not even clinching at any point. Was that just part of, the Aztec blood that you have in you that, like in a sense, yeah, I'm not gonna clinch?
Yeah, it wasn't something I was really thinking about. It was just, when I'm in there, I'm trying to throw hands. I wasn't really worried about, trying to hold on to survive or nothing. Even, when I was hurt, I knew, I'm still dangerous. So, I think it's just, my first instinct, is just to, fight back, instead of clinch.
Now, that moment when the ref decided to, to waive the fight, were you upset? Did you tell him anything? What went through your mind at that point?
No, I didn't tell him anything. Again, like I said, the ref, they make their calls in there, based on what's going on, and for whatever reason, he felt that was necessary, which I don't agree with, but again, it doesn't matter, what I say, the ref calls it off, there's only turning that around.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, having now stepped in there with Tank, who would you, I don't want to say but who do you think he should step in there with next, or who do you think could maybe challenge him, in or around 35, 40, what do you think would be a good fight for him next?
Any one of the champions, who's at 135, there's plenty of opportunity for him, but that's Tank's business.
Well, obviously one of your thoughts, you have a great boxing mind, you have a great boxing coach as well. Have you thought about, Errol Spence, Manny Pacquiao, just as a boxing fan, how do you see that fight playing out? And being from Texas, did you ever spar Errol Spence?
No, I never sparred Spence. He's always been, a lot heavier than me, a lot bigger than me when I was growing up. But, man, that's another fight I wasn't too excited about once it got announced. I've been a big fan of Pacquiao, and his career, for a very long time. And of course, man, me and Spence, Spence is my dude. And I just don't want to see, Pacquiao go out, getting hurt, a legend like that. But every time he steps in there, he seems to defy, all odds, even age. So I still think it's going to be another great fight. But hopefully both of them, come out healthy, come out good.
Obviously, I would imagine down the path, you want to face, be unified champion in 147 or be perhaps undisputed. Who would you rank right now the best welterweights? You have Spence, Crawford, Ugas, Pacquiao. It's a stacked division, and obviously now with you moving up, it makes it even a bigger weight class. Right now, who do you think is the top dog?
Right now, man, I definitely think Spence is that dude up there. Spence and Crawford, it had to be head to head. That's been the fantasy matchup everyone has asked for, and I feel like until we get that fight, we won't see who's truly has the crown at 147.
Being 26 years old, already one Division I champion, looking to get the second one. Do you want to move up quickly and take those? Those big challenges this year, maybe next year, and fight for a world title?
Yeah, no, and if it's up to me, I'd fight with them. I'd fight for those opportunities, within 1 to 2 fights. But you know, I mean, I know it's gonna take a little longer than that. But you know, like I said, you know, I'm willing to fight. You know, anybody. There's no fight that I have said no to, and you know, that's the same energy. You know, I'm carrying up to, you know, to 147.
Some names brought up, you know, maybe the likes of Virgil Ortiz or even Mikey Garcia, who we've seen, you know, fight on the PBC banner recently. What do you make of fights like that? Not champions, but you know, still top 10 in the division. What do you think of fights like that to welcome you, you know, to make your debut at welterweight?
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, those are huge fights to be made. You know, and I have no doubt, you know, that those are the names, you know, that, you know, we're gonna get, you know, but it's only a matter of time. But you know, like I said, I mean, I'm willing to fight anybody.
Sorry for me. Lastly, obviously you have like 100 tattoos for what it seems like, man. How many tattoos have you gotten since you fought Tank? Because I think you might have been a couple.
No, I've actually only gotten one since the Tank fight.
Last week. Now, earlier you mentioned that, you know, that ring walk, for some reason there was no music. At that point I thought it was the plan, but you know, the DJ forgot to push play, or what happened?
Man, I don't know. You know, I'm still trying to figure that out. You know, I had a song that was. I mean, it's still gonna go with the ring walk, but yeah. But now, man, you know, shout out to the danzantes, you know, that we had there from the Bay Area. You know, they brought, you know, the water jumps and everything. So, you know, regardless, you know, with music or not, you know, I was still able, you know, to make a pretty, you know, epic entrance, and I'm very thankful, you know, for them, and you know, just everybody, you know, that's, you know, supporting me.
They were trying to throw you off, bro, from the beginning.
Yeah, they might have been.
Yeah, thank you, Mario.
Appreciate you.